When you finally hire a sales manager, and guys, look, if Jack Daly was here, I can hear him yelling at me already. He would tell you to hire the sales manager first, and that's the guy that's going to hire and build the sales team and all the rest of it. But the reality is, when you're a small business, hiring a sales manager is an expensive investment, and then they got to hire salespeople, and so I get it. So you are probably going to be the quasi sales manager for a while. Don't try to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Don't let perfection stop you. You're going to make a lot of mistakes no matter what you do. So move ahead with that. But when you're ready to hire that sales manager, here's the responsibilities I have outlined here. Creating compensation plans, playbook scripts, reward and recognition systems, etc. But on page 30, I want to briefly touch on this, because one of the questions I get asked the most about sales management is really, when do you know when to fire somebody? When do you know? And here's what I'm going to tell you. This aside, the fact that you're asking that question tells me you need to fire them. Because you're not looking for, should I fire them? You're looking for someone to give you permission, right? And so when you have given up hope on a person, and you know that you're training them, you're trying, and it's not working, it's time for them to go, all right? Now, I will also tell you that you're not going to hire all A players, rock stars, and you can generate a lot of good sales with okay performers. So if you've got somebody on your team, as long as they're not burning opportunities, like costing you money, if you have a mediocre performer that's at least hitting quota, even if they're not setting the world on fire, keep them and hire another rep. Okay? But I will fire somebody, number one, if they behave in an unethical manner, like if they lie or they're repeatedly lying, stealing from the company, obviously get rid of them. If they aren't hitting quota and they aren't doing sufficient activities to demonstrate they're trying to hit quota, that's the big tell. Again, you want to have quota, which is here's where you should be, and you want to have minimum performance standard. Minimum performance standard is if you fall below bringing in this number of quantity of sales, MRR, however you're measuring it, I have to fire you because you're not producing the revenue I need. And again, Paul Sissel's session will talk to you about like how much margin, gross margin and new sales they should be generating. But if they're not hitting quota and they are unwilling to do the activities, that is an absolute fire them. Don't wait 6 months. Don't wait a year. Don't try to motivate them. Don't try and offer them extra bonus. None of that, right? You got to get rid of them. But make sure when you're hiring someone, you're telling them, we measure things. We need you to make this many calls. We need you to hit this many quota. You have to do that backwards planning, like I was talking about, right? So make sure you're doing that. Number 3, if they've got a really negative attitude towards the company, I always say sour milk never turns fresh. Never. Once they've turned and you're seeing signs of it, it's going to get rampant. I've never seen a negative employee turn around and be positive again, like not once. And all the years I've been working in business and hiring people, I suppose it's possible, but it's very, very, very rare, okay? If they don't play well with others, and this might be a really good salesperson. You might actually have a rock star. Sometimes the stars are the worst ones, and this could be not just on the sales department. It could be in your technical department, operations, because they feel like they walk on water, and they can treat and talk to anybody any way they want. So you got to be actually kind of careful about that, right? They could destroy your team. And number 5, if they're not coachable, meaning you're giving them feedback and they resent it or they won't follow instruction. Being coachable is an extremely important aspect of succeeding.